welcome back to Abstract Medicine. I hope you're all doing well. Thank you so much for joining me here on this reading today. We're going to be looking at the some messages from Commander Ashtar today, and we're going to see what Commander Ashtar wants to say today. Before we start, I just wanted to say I've just got this new deck today, and it's the Hocus Pocus Disney Tarot deck with the guidebook, and I'm very excited about this. It's part of the Abstract Medicine collection of cards, so I'm looking forward to reading with these cards at some point. I'm not sure if Commander Ashtar wants me to read with these cards, but I just wanted to show you that I'm very excited about hopefully reading with these cards in the collective at some point, so very cool. So the cards that I'm actually being drawn to are these ones here. So we're going to have, I now see why. I now see why this is very Commander Ashtar energy. So we're just going to channel, we're just going to see what needs to come through. Before we do, we're going to be using the archetype cards. We're going to use one archetype card and see how this is going to, I just heard thread the needle, okay, and I just heard the needle in the haystack. But we're going to see how this particular card is going to be of resonance for this reading. So let me just center myself and get clear. Got some frankincense incense burning here, and yeah, very excited. At the time of this reading, it is 18:50, so it's 6:50 in the evening, and it's Monday. It's Monday the 15th of January 2024. So, Commander Ashtar, what is it that you would like to share today? What are the messages that you'd like to share with the collective? I just heard the phrase, stay strong, stay strong. Okay, thank you, Commander Ashtar. Did this card come in a reading before with Commander Ashtar? I'm not sure if this card came in the reading once before with Commander Ashtar. The mirror. Now this is very mystical and alien, isn't it, really? Excuse me. Now I know that, let's say, outside of this planet Earth, they don't like being called aliens. But there's a foreign article here. I'm seeing, you know, Space Odyssey 2001, the film, and there's this obelisk, or there's this kind of plinth that appears, and it's this beautiful introduction into the movie, into the film. And then in the Barbie film, if you've ever seen it, Greta Gerwig, the director, plays homage to that film in the intro, where Barbie is the icon, the plinth, let's say, the monument to be seen, desired, and something that's kind of misunderstood, possibly. I'm seeing that there could be something that could be found on planet Earth. Excuse me, I'm sounding a bit nasally because I'm a bit sniffly. Yeah, hopefully it should clear itself up in a few seconds. But I'm seeing here that there could be something, some sort of foreign body, a bit like this, like a shard, that could be discovered on planet Earth. Now I speak about the shard, and in the London cityscape there is a building called the Shard, and I believe it was created with the investment of a very, very wealthy person or estate, I believe from Dubai, that had helped to create this really interesting building that looks like a shard of glass, and it's in London Bridge. And it is iconic now, it's part of the London cityscape. And it's interesting, so many monuments started off like that, particularly in our evolution. We see that with pyramids, we see that with modern architecture as well, that kind of look perpendicular, at an angle, triangular. If you look at this image, this way, it is a pyramid. There's something here about sacred geometry as well, which is important too. I'm also seeing Pythagoras, like the Pythagoras' theorem as well. Now I'm seeing it as the moon cycle and the pyramid. We're going to be seeing more cosmic disclosures being disclosed. We're going to be seeing more paranormal activity around pyramids and ancient structures during full moon, new moons, and also during eclipse seasons and equinoxes. That's what I'm hearing. So actually I want to have this card like this. Okay, I want to have this card like this. Alright, so let me just put it to the side for a second and I'll come back to it, okay? The mirror. The mirror. In Roman numerals we have 50, 65, 66, 67, 68. 1968 was important for a lot of paranormal activity. Commander Ashtar, what is it that you want to say? He's also talking about ufology, UFOs, spacecrafts that are reflecting light and may not necessarily be seen to the naked eye, as they are reflections of the outside world. So say for example there's a floating alien spacecraft, it looks a bit like this, where it's reflecting back the sky, it's reflecting the sky, so all you're seeing is sky and it's essentially invisible. And it's a new technology that, well, I'm hearing it's a technology that's always been, but it's a new technology that could be adopted or has already been adopted behind the scenes. Maybe this is part of the disclosure. I just heard disclosure agreement. There's going to be more of agreements to disclose information about alien spacecraft technology, essentially, in a nutshell. I mean, it's a very generalized term, but you'll catch my drift. I also hear that there's a new language that's being discovered as well, a new language, and it's very, very ancient. I'm also picking up on Göbekli Tepe. So Göbekli Tepe is a site that was discovered very recently, and I believe it's in Turkey. And let me just double check that for you. And it's said to Göbekli Tepe is in Turkey, yes, in Anatolia, southeastern Anatolia. It is said to be the settlement which was inhabited from 9,500 to at least 8,000 BCE during the pre-pottery Neolithic age. It's famous for its large structures. I'm just reading this off Wikipedia, my friends. Megaliths containing massive stone pillars. Megaliths. So remember I spoke about megaliths in terms of monuments, 2001 Space Odyssey. Many of these pillars are decorated with anthropomorphic details, clothing and sculptural reliefs of wild animals, providing archaeologists rare insights into prehistoric religion and a particular iconography of the period. There's also this sense of what people... The information I'm getting is that what people think they know about human history and evolution is being reprogrammed into actual fact, where we thought that maybe the Egyptians were one of the oldest civilizations, the Incans the oldest civilizations, but the site of Göbekli Tepe, now obviously a UNESCO World Heritage Site, is known to be even further back in our evolution as human beings. And so there's going to be more disclosure about human evolution. Now again, I say this in generalized terms, human evolution, I talk about these things, but there are many different evolutions, many different ages, many different, I'm seeing flashes of existence. So a bit like a rebooting of a program in a computer. You reboot and then you have a new reality. And then sometimes that reality didn't work on planet Earth, and so it was rebooted and restarted, and there's a flash of a new reality. So some of you already are very aware of this interesting life cycle, let's call it that, of humans on planet Earth. And it's more cyclical than it is linear. It's more cyclical than it is linear, but it's also connected to technology. Somehow it's connected to this energy. Somehow it's connected to what is reflected back as reality. So for those of you who've been abducted, you may have experienced, like I have, this sense of being sent out a message telepathically of what you're seeing is real, but knowing subconsciously that that's not a reality of what's being projected from that abduction experience. So it's kind of a mind programming. And so what's happening is that our minds are slowly being reprogrammed again. It's not the first time this has happened, where the veil is coming down a little bit and there's a revelation that's taking place where we're being revealed some sort of reality. And this is involving Göbekli Tepe. It's also involving language. So a new language could be discovered in archaeology, and maybe even technology. And remember, in 2001 Space Odyssey, there were these like monkeys that were trying to open up this monolith, trying to find out what it is with their very limited understanding, very limited DNA structure, very limited intelligence. And with that limited intelligence, there are limited tools, language to communicate, tools to make things. But I think we have been limited with actual true knowledge of how things have actually come to be, and how there have been many types of human beings across planet Earth, and many types of evolutions, and many types of hybrids. And I think that's what's being revealed, or soon to be revealed. I don't know when. Maybe there was an entry point in 1968, possibly. Some of us are gaining that insight through meditation, through spiritual connection. I just had seances. Let's have a look at these cards. Why not? Let's have a look at these cards. We have the Four of Swords. Yes, we have these revelations coming in through conscious connection with spirits, with some of these sentient beings, maybe even with Commander Ashtar himself, as it were, or part of the fleet. You know, this is a soldier who's lying down in a church. Four of Swords, yeah. So some of you are getting this revelation maybe as you're convalescing over a sickness, a flu or cold, particularly in the Northern Hemisphere. You know, I sneezed at the beginning of this reading. So, you know, when you're just convalescing or lying down or relaxing or meditating or astral projecting, astral traveling or dreaming, you receive these informations, you receive this download. You through your imagination stage, the liminal stage, you receive this information, okay? We have the Chariot. Interesting, very interesting, because I talked about Egypt and we have two sphinxes here, pharaohic sphinxes. This is Archangel Metatron energy. This is the energy of Archangel Metatron who collapses space and time and this would make a lot of sense with alien technology. I say alien technology as a blanket statement, but this is the energy of someone who is very informed about telecommunication, teleportation. Very informed. And this is ancient technology here. It says here, movement of resonance, journey, victory over a situation or problem, balancing the opposite polarities. This could also involve the polar opposite, like actual North Pole and South Pole. So what we thought was the North Pole is actually the South Pole. What we thought was the South Pole is actually the North Pole. So there could be that. It could also be a metaphor that what we thought was up is actually down, what we thought was down was actually up. So again, what we thought was our human evolution is actually not a human evolution. It's something on those lines of a big old reality check. You know, that's what I'm picking up on. I'll have a look at the numbers in a minute, but there is something important here with number 4 and number 7. I think it's something to do, I just heard compound numbers. I don't know what compound numbers are because I'm not really a mathematician at all. But I just heard compound numbers. What are compound numbers, Commander Ashtar? What are compound numbers, Commander Ashtar? This is also space travel, and this is a spacecraft, he's saying, which is the Metatron cube. A lot of you are already aware of this. Compound numbers, and this is related to numerology. Beautiful. So the Metatron cube is a triangle. Again, we've got the triangle again. So we've got one triangle like this, one triangle like this, that's 7, and then we have another one poking out, which is 7, 8, and then on one 9. Is that 9? Is that 9-pointed star? So a compound number is a quantity expressed in 2 different units. A quantity that is expressed in terms of 2 or more different units, such as 10 pounds, 5 ounces, or 3 feet, 4 inches. Okay. Could this be 4 inches, 7, or 7 in, I don't know, 7 feet, 4 inches, or 4 feet, 7 inches? Is this related to height? No. Maybe, but it doesn't matter. There is something I'm picking up on where these beings, these intelligent people, whether you call them human or not, were able to change their height as they will, at will. They could change their height at will according to the dimension that they were entering in. Now I've forgotten what I was channeling earlier. Metatron's cube. Let's have a look at how many Metatron. Metatron's cube. I'm having some lovely jasmine tea, which I got today. Archangel Metatron. Let's have a look. Archangel Metatron's cube in sacred geometry. Yes, yes. So I'm actually seeing the, let me just give you a sketch of what I'm seeing because it's pretty phenomenal. Let me just show you a sketch of what I'm seeing exactly. So what I'm seeing, I don't know if you can see this, you see, okay. What I'm seeing is this, 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 that, and that. That's the one triangle I mentioned earlier. Then there'd be a triangle here, yeah? Alright, that's the triangle. Balance of masculine and feminine, balance of opposites, yin and yang, okay? And then also what I'm seeing here, just on the internet, I'm seeing these gateways. So this is connected to this gateway, This is connected to that gateway. This one's connected to that gateway. This is Metatron is talking about how the star travel. He's talking about star travel. Okay. This is connected. So then there's a circle here, which would be an entry point. Then there's one here. Wait, one here. One here. One here. One here. One here. One here. And then you've got the peripheral ones. Here, here, here. Again, this is very connected to the pyramids. A lot of you are already aware of that. I'm also seeing the Zephyroth as well, the sacred geometry of life, the tree of life as well, which is Kabbalistic. So, of course, we're made of stardust in itself. Our own bodies are connected to particular stellar gateways as well. Yes, exactly. And as I'm reading this, it says these duties tie in with Metatron's work overseeing the tree of life in Kabbalah, where Metatron sends creative energy down from the top, the crown of the tree, towards all the parts of creation. Here's how you can use Metatron's cue for inspiration and transformation. So some of you could be just meditating on the particular symbol. This could also be shown, of course, in crop circles as well, as you know. Yes. Okay. So that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing, of course, this Kabbalistic or Metatron, but this is actually a stellar gateway, which would be very connected with, you know, Archangel Michael's energy and transportation of vehicles from one portal to the next, and how people would travel would be, let's say, quote unquote invisible, like having an invisible cloak, but it's not. It's just a reflection of the outside world of what's being seen. Now, it's very interesting. I bought this the other day. I now realise why I bought it. Because there's actually a spacecraft I've never seen before. Oh, I was just about to swear then. I'm actually seeing Metatrons at the back. The exact thing that I just drew this in front of your eyes. There's a spacecraft that looks exactly like this. And that's the back of it, where there's portal. Amazing. How incredible is that? But there's a spacecraft that looks like this, and it just like this. So say for example it was hovering and it was in the sky, it would look like this. Yeah, kind of like this. Just amazing. But what's being reflected, and I think it spins. I think what Archangel Metatron probably is here as well with us today. But it's almost like Commander Ashtar is wanting me to discover this on my own, using my own intellect and critical thinking with you all, and showing you like how the mystery of life is just in the banal, let's say, in this banal object. And this object was just calling me, and it was in a second-hand shop. I was like, why am I being called to this so much? And I ended up buying it, and I realised now this is the whole tree of life. I love this object now. Beautiful. So it's got, and even here on this angle I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 8 angles, 8 points. And then again we have this portal, and then of course we have this, which is basically this. It's like a gem. But they're all reflections. They're reflecting light. Refracting, same difference. So there could also be, of course, this can be done, space travel can be done through meditation easily. astral projection. That's what happens. That's space travel. You know, you're moving from one dimension to another dimension. It's about changing the dimension that you have within you, that you are in energetically, and transferring and transforming that into another dimension. And some of you could also change your height, shape, structure. You know, compound in terms of number, compound structure, in order to access and enter a portal. Now, I did a series of paintings years ago when I was in LA called Gatekeepers. It was called The Music of the Spheres. There's one of them is called Gatekeepers. But all of them, essentially, all part of this series of Music of the Spheres, was about these bots that would allow you access into their world according to your vibration. If your vibration was not matching and aligned with the dimension that you were about to access, the gatekeepers would close that gate, which is the stellar gateway, and just would close the gate like a geometric box, like a puzzle, and just will not allow you access into their world. So you enter portals according to your vibration. He's saying everything is sacred number. Everything is sacred number. It's all about sacred number. Pythagoras is in Thoth, connection to Thoth, is Thoth, you know, is the reincarnation of Thoth, you know, in Greece. Knew this. There's something about our education that we've lost that. We've lost that somehow. Now, I was fortunate that my school was really into sacred geometry, but you know, in most education, it's not really spoken about. You know, the magic of sacred number, really, is it? It's just not. Okay, 9 of Cups. Thought that was going to come out again. King of Swords. Okay, let me just adjust the camera one moment. We've got the Ace of Cups here. Here's my tea. Okay, so what I'm saying is, in order to access portals, access points, you had to know someone who could be a helping hand to let you in. So again, there's this kind of accord. There's a relationship with each dimensional space. King of Wands. Okay, let me just shuffle a few things one moment while I readjust a few things. Very interesting. Say, for example, like in this kingdom would have an accord with this kingdom, which they're different dimensions. King of Wands is a different dimension from the King of Swords. But there's an accord. But we lack that now. Somehow along the way, the accord, the relationship, now accord comes with the idea of frequency, relationship, frequency. There's a lack of connection with other dimensions because of our frequency. I'm sensing. I think it's like being kicked out of the Garden of Eden. I'm also picking up on the Garden of Eden was actually being kicked out of being privy to having access to all of these amazing dimensions through space travel, you know, because there's the Garden of Eden is one dimension, and then planet Earth is another dimension. So being kicked out of paradise into a kind of living hell is a completely different dimension. So it's a lower dimension, isn't it? It's a lower dimension. It's more material. It's a material dimension. It's heavy. It's a material dimension. The Garden of Eden is a spiritual dimension, less material. Very interesting. I just get this sense that what Commander Ashtar is showing me here, and I'm seeing this throne as a ruler. So, you know, like this is a ruler, yes, but an actual ruler of measurement. A ruler of measurement, these lines. I don't know if you can see that with me. I just get this sense that there's a vibration that's lowered here. And we are no longer, we're not able to access these other dimensions through, let's say, physical space travel anymore. We're not able to do that anymore. We've been kicked out of that relationship. We've been kicked out of that. I don't know what is the right terminology I'm looking for. Come on, Ashtar. Yeah, look, we have the death card here. Death of a situational endings, new beginnings. Yeah, the sun, marriage, happiness, and bright prospects. We've been kicked out of the Garden of Eden. Wow. 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 Let me just focus on these cards one moment. I'll be silent for a minute, okay? Yeah. It's the energy of greed. We wanted more. We wanted more. We wanted more. We were not satisfied. We were not quenched. Our soul was not quenched enough with what we had. You know, we were privy to 9 dimensions here. That was the happy state. That was the wish fulfillment. But we were kicked out of the Garden of Eden. We were kicked out of access to other dimensions because we lowered our frequency for greed. We lowered our frequency because we were too greedy. We wanted more, and what we didn't realize is that we had it all along. We had it all along, and now it's maybe one of those universal laws that we no longer are able to access that energy ever again because we had it all. I am picking up on new beings, earth beings being born. Let's call them the new sort of wave of children that are being born, as having natural direct access to these portals. Most kids do anyway, but I'm seeing that these new ones that are coming through, they have access to it because we have number 9 and we have 9 and 1 here, which is 19. So it's like the death, the ending of, you know, being cut out of the Garden of Eden. You know, 3 major arcanas here. The first one is time travel, okay? Time-space travel. Everyone was doing it, and now only certain people are able to do it. Now these can also be governments that have access to that technology, which we can talk about another time. But I see here that universally we no longer have access to it, but what I'm seeing is that this new wave of children that are coming through will initiate that access again. That's what I'm seeing. Knight of Cups. And it's about love. It's about love. And it's the energy of confidence. You know, the Chariot here, this individual in this image, and all the individuals here, you know, they're soldiers. And they come in with courage and confidence. They know what they want. They're focused. They know what they want, and they're balanced, and they know where they're going. And they're charging towards their goals, towards a newfound land. There's a sense of adventure. sense of courage, as I mentioned before, strength, confidence, inner knowing. I just heard center stage. Why am I hearing center stage? See, this is where we're at now in our civilization as humans. We're heavily burdened by the things that we've let go of, which was the Garden of Eden. Everything that we do is not to our satisfaction. Everything we do is not to our satisfaction. Nothing can satisfy us, nothing can quench us, so we're constantly buying things, getting things, taking things, ordering things. And we just filled with more material things, more material objects, more things to be burdened by. But we're on the path. We're on the path to release this load. And I think we've become so stuck in our world that we can't see that there's a little retreat here at the end of that path. We're so, our limited perception has become even more limited, and it's become more focused on material things and objects. We've lost our spirituality. We've lost our spirituality. King of Pentacles, man over 25 years, dark eyes and dark hair, business, arrogance, powerful. Yes, because of our arrogance, because of our pride in having, you know, this is the energy of us as humans nowadays, is just full of this, you know, earth-bound energy. We believe that we come from here. We no longer believe that we are from the stars. It's almost as if Archangel Metatron is trying to help us out here. Give us a bit of a rude awakening for some of us, saying, look, you're going through this transformational period. You need to have this inevitable change in your life so that you can shift and see that you are children of the sun, let's say, as examples. You are magical creatures. The sun is the energy of Apollo, also a traveler. It was said that in Greek mythology, he was the one that carried the sun around the globe, right? But there's the energy of innocence and joy and happiness. Again, there's the energy of, like, we've lost our light-hearted, childlike selves, and we're so stuck on the material world. This isn't our reality. This is not our reality. The physical plane is not our reality, is what Commander Ashtar is saying. This card wants to show itself. Page of Wands, young woman to 25 years, travel overland. You see, we got the pyramids again. See? Pyramids there. Some of you are also wanting to go to a site that has pyramids, including Egypt. Okay, but I'm seeing here that, you know, we're so, particularly in our governments, we're so obsessed with more power, more greed, more possessions, more control. What happened to being a little bit more romantic about life? It's also very telling, isn't it, where it's almost like a bad thing to have a joie de vivre, like a love of life, a love of living, of being in the present moment like a child does, you know, being enraptured by the flower, being enraptured by small ecstatic moments of experiencing life on a day-to-day basis. It's almost become a bad thing to just be imaginative and dream and wearing a heart on our sleeve and being romantic. It's almost a bad thing. And I think this is in particular a message for men here. I do see that here. I don't see it's a major message for women or other. I see it's a message for men here, that and I see this as a message of the patriarchy. I have to say it because I see it here. That if the patriarchy doesn't change and releases the shackles of the heavy, dense, material, dimensional state of how we're living our lives, we will be forever trapped in this physical hell. You know, and something has to change, and something is changing, and something is inevitably changing because we have the death card here. So I don't know what this is. Let's have a look at this confirmation. Commander Ashtar, can we talk about this? So Commander Ashtar has asked me to use these cards here, which are reading cards, and I've forgotten the name of this deck. Let's have a look. What is this death card about, please, Commander Ashtar? Oh, these two, okay. Yeah, you can't make it up. Look, Commander Ashtar is definitely with us here. This is a card of transformation, the death card. And we have a card of transform anger. Yes, transform anger. And then we have become more objective. Become more objective. Let's analyze these cards. So let's move these out of the way. Let's analyze the death card. Yeah. $34. We've got 34 here. And we have number 4. This is related to politics, the church as well, I'm seeing, or just religion in general. So what I'm seeing here is that a lot of these people who are in governance over our lives, 34 and 4 here, are have lost their true north. They've lost their true north. And many of them have, say for example, have wished to fly that kite, have a fun, joyful experience. Flying a kite, very innocent experience, very innocent hobby to have. And they then lose that passion, that joy. They become embittered. They become burdened, and they lose their true north, essentially losing their soul to an institution. Now I spoke about a monolith, and we've got this pillar here. Now this may have come about, this is like, I don't know, what kind of pillar, is it a Doric pillar? This may have come about during the Greek civilization. Ancient Greek civilization is what I'm talking about. I believe this to be a Doric pillar. Which is the one that has the kind of little curves? Yeah, it's a Doric pillar. This came about during ancient Greece, and we were talking about Pythagoras. There's the Doric pillar, the Ionic pillar, and the Corinthian pillar. This one is the Ionic pillar. Okay. This one is the Ionic pillar. Let me have a look. What is the Ionic pillar? Remind me again. Why is this important? Ionic pillar. Now remember, everything that I mentioned here in the readings, they all have a connection, okay? They're of importance. They don't just come about just for its own sake. There's a reason why I'm researching this with you. Ionic order, one of the 3 orders of classical architecture. Now remember I spoke about architecture, the shard, architecture, buildings, pillars, monoliths. 44 on the timer here as well. It's 19:33 on my watch, on my clock. So one of the three orders of classical architecture, along with Doric and Corinthian, characterized by the use of volutes. Columns stand on a base which separates the shaft of the columns from the stylo blade. The cap is usually enriched with egg and dart. Now, the iconic order is one of the three canonic orders of classical architecture, the other two being the Doric. Okay, these are two lesser orders, the Tuscan and the richer variant of Corinthian, called the composite order. Of the three classical canonic orders, the Corinthian order has the narrowest column, followed by the... Okay, fine. The Ionic, they hold structures. They hold structures. These pillars hold structures. These pillars hold structures. Why is that important? Archangel Metatron, why is that important? Commander Ashtar. That there are no longer structures to be held, I'm hearing. There are no longer structures to be held, gosh. There are only, what remains are just columns. So there could be new structures that are being developed. Now remember, Greece was founded on the idea, based on a new revolution, a new age, new awakening, a new civilization. And a lot of Greek philosophy and a lot of Greek aesthetics was based on harmony, beauty, harmony. Things of a higher level, connection to the spiritual. But we've lost that. There's no longer a structure here. There's no longer a structure. Interesting. Let's keep going with that. No longer a structure. Again, it's the energy of the north. Now remember I spoke about the North Pole is no longer the North Pole. As an example, just bear with me on this. The North is no longer the North, it's the South. The South is no longer the South, it's the North. There's now like a difference. So this could be, say for example, like the importance of like a major world player as a country is the US, or it's the Western world as being like the pillar as an example, of progress, the West being an example of civilization, the pillar example of classical beauty, traditional aesthetics of beauty, right? But now it's no longer the West. The East could be the new age of beauty, area of beauty. The East could be the new area of progress and change. Something is changing here, and I believe that the West in particular, as a concept, as an area, is no longer going to be the world player. How interesting. There's also a horse here. There's a horse here, and there's a horse here. There's a horse here and a horse here. And they're facing two different directions. One horse is facing that direction, and this horse is facing that direction, which is telling me again, polar opposites. There's polar opposites, okay? Just ignore the glare of the sun. There's polar opposites here. How interesting. And maybe there isn't a westerly wind to help that flight, that kite to fly. There is no wind at all. There is no helping hand, which we had with the Ace of Cups to help aid us into a new portal, or into another portal, because we were kicked out of heaven. we're no longer privy to that. That's the deal. You behave badly, you don't get the cake and you don't eat it. You can't have the cake and eat it. says these beings. How interesting, come on, Ashtar. And then with the energy of transform anger, you know, a lot of these people who are in positions of power, who are not necessarily the balanced masculine, okay? For example, I'm not a man hater, I'm just seeing how these messages are developing, are very hurt children. Their inner child is hurt somehow, for whatever reason. Something may have happened in their childhood. And so they come into these positions of power to gain control, to show up to their parents, even if they're long gone and passed on and dead, to say, look, I made it anyway, but they'll do whatever it takes to be in that position of power and be pretty greedy to get there. A bit smug. They don't care how many bodies they're walking over to get where they need to get to. That's not a position of leadership. That's not a true example of leadership. That's kind of mental, like chaotic, desperate, infatuated with self. I don't know what's going on there. Helicopter. No, it's a airplane. Ten of Cups. Happiness, good things, party or celebration. Yeah, this was what it was like in the Garden of Eden. It was lovely. It was really lovely. Had it all. Could have had it all. Now, I've spoken about this, Commander Ashtar has channeled this with me, where I mentioned Commander Ashtar said that Adam and Eve haven't been together in eons, and they could have had this fully. They could have had children there and all of that, but it never happened because they wanted more, greed. But I think we're entering a new age with number 10, where we could be seeing this new age where this could be happening actually on this terra firma, you know. Let's get some more information on that Ten of Cups and why is that connected. So Spirit is saying there's always hope to transmute pain, anger into joy. There is always that possibility. Some access it, some don't, because they don't want to let go of greed. They don't want to let go of control. We see that all the time. We see that all the time, don't we? They don't want to transform. It's too scary for them. They'd rather hold on to their power, no matter what it takes. But it's harder. It's harder upstream. But they suffer internally. A whole country suffers, a whole society suffers on account of someone's deep trauma who's in a position of power and control, you know, telling us what to do. There's no self-sacrifice here. There's no willingness to change. There's no letting go of burdens. Some change, some don't. Some want to transform, some don't. Become more objective. Some just don't want to be more objective. They don't want to do the inner work. They don't want to read those self-help books. They don't want to do any of that. They think it's all wishy-washy stuff. Yeah. A lot of these people we see in the positions of power in governance are frustrated and bound and maybe even gagged, honestly, because of some sort of like deal that they've done. So they can't, they almost feel like they can't, they're trapped, you know, a lot of these people here. Why are we talking about this, come on, Ashtar? Because it's important. They're all being killed. Okay, what Commander Ashtar's saying is they're all being metaphorically ending their own lives themselves. They're suffering in silence, and a lot of them are just backstabbing each other as well. Why is this important? Ten of Pentacles. Because they're obsessed with money. The signing of money agreements here. They're obsessed with wealth, legacy, appearances, tradition. Now remember I spoke about the Zephyroth, the tree of life. We have that here. A Kabbalistic symbol, which is confirmation of what I mentioned. Some of them are really part of the quote-unquote establishment. But some of them forget that the reason why they arrived at this place through generational wealth, through traditional means, through the ages, was because there was one person who was connected to the stars. We've got 10 stars here. Pentacles are stars. You know, we have these stars here. Their ancestors were connected to time travel, some of them. Their ancestors were privy to some sort of ancient technology, a bit like Leonardo da Vinci was very connected to alien technology, wasn't he? And say, for example, his family, this isn't fact, but as an example, say someone like Leonardo da Vinci is connected to the stars, then there ends up being a legacy. The whole family is then, you know, known as inventors or creatives, but down the line, I don't know, 10 generations down the line, that grandchild has zero connection to the stars. And so when we had the Sun card, Commander Ashtar is saying that there's going to be a new generation that will remember the connection to the stars and bring back that reverence again. And they will be the ones that will have access, not because their focus is on making money. It's not about that. They will be abundant, they will be, you know, stable, but they'll remember their connection, and those will be the ones that will be inventing new technologies, is what Spirit Commander Ashtar is saying. Let's see what else. It's very interesting that's coming through. Seven of Cups, there's lots of options. All that glitters is not gold. Look beyond the clouds. Look beyond the clouds and clowns, I'm hearing. Look beyond the clowns, money improvements. Yeah, lots of options. Commander Ashtar, is there anything else you'd like to share? Let's have a look at these cards here. What are the name of these cards? I've forgotten. Let your past go. Yes, exactly. So we have to let go of the ways our civilization used to do things and it being seen and reflected in our world today. We have to let go of that. We have to look into a new age. We have to look into a new way of doing things. The burden, remember I spoke, you see how it's all connected, Ten of Wands? We have here, the burden of carting your past around has made you weary. Dear one, it's time to set this burden down. Keep only the lesson or lessons and love and leave everything else behind. You don't want it or need it and it's now gone. And that's the material world. We need to let go of the physical material world and come more into alignment with the spiritual self. We have to remember again who we are. We are light beings, we are star beings. We're not of this world. And some of us are pretending and thinking that we are. We're not. Some of us are really being called to travel, space travel, and travel to sacred sites involving pyramids so that we can recall back our memories from past lives. It's like a DNA activation, yeah? Very synchronous, this message about letting go of your past. Very much so. Very much so. There are some people who won't want to, in positions of power, they just won't want to. They want to continue the cycle over and over again, but it's not possible. That's not how evolution works. We have to evolve out of certain stages, and cycles. Play, this actually means play. Where's my, let's get my Sharpie, one moment, so I can just correct the spelling. Beloved one, it's time to set aside work for a while. Don't worry, we will oversee your responsibilities to their completion. Playfulness, gaiety and laughter will lift your energy so that you'll return to work with a renewed perspective and heightened energy. So again, it's the energy of go fly a kite, for goodness sakes. Have some fun. Have some childlike energy. Be in the rapture of a single moment of fun. Yeah? Focus on service. I love this card. So beautiful. Your soul desires only to joyfully serve and to swim in a constant stream of bliss. Yes. Very spiritual card. This stream continuously feeds you everything you need. Put your entire focus upon staying in this stream of giving and receiving in every situation and in all that you do. Yeah. Let's get one more. One more. Come on, Ashtar. One more, come on, Ashtar, please. Oh, that jumped out. Yeah, ground yourself. When you detach from awareness of your body and the physical world, you become ungrounded. Although it's pleasant to float heavenward, that's the astral traveling, okay? Your attention and work are needed upon the earth. So this, like many other beings, you know, Commander Ashtar definitely talks about how we get to look after planet Earth. And it's lovely, that's why we're here to serve, we're here on a mission to protect, to serve, to heal, to embrace, to enrich, to advance this planet Earth. And it's lovely for a lot of us who are angels, earth angels. Sometimes this dimension can be too heavy on our energy, it can be too dark. And all we want to do is just like be in the heavens. We'd rather just go back home, let's say, but we can't do that right now. We have to bring that heaven on planet Earth. We have to bring that Eden onto Earth, into Earth again. And it's all well and good astral traveling every 5 seconds or every day. I mean, I wouldn't suggest it. We have to continue having that cord into planet Earth, so we always come back and remember we're here on mission. Okay, so when you detach your awareness of your body in the physical world, you become ungrounded. Although it's pleasant to float heavenwards, your attention and work are needed upon the earth. We're helping you balance the spiritual and material so that you can enjoy a fulfilling earthly life. That's it. Again, Metatron's energy triangle. So it's about the opposites and balance of opposites for a lot of you as well. And some of us in our own physical bodies have a misalignment, call it chakras if you will, but not all of it is in balance. That's why we're not able to star travel, because some of these portals within our churches or chakras are blocked somehow, maybe intentionally through spirit or unintentionally. You know, we need to access, in order to access star travel, we need to balance our churches, you know, our chakras. And then again, we get to mirror back to the universe who we are energetically, so we're able to energetically access those portals again. So that's what I'm seeing here. That's all I have for you at the moment. Thank you so much, Commander Ashtar, for bringing in this information and a bit of a class, actually. A bit of a class, a bit of a lesson. Feels like a class day today. Thank you so much. It's been a beautiful reading, Commander Ashtar. Thank you so much. We'll tune into your next lesson very soon. Thank you, lovely viewers and listeners, for tuning into this video. Thank you so much. Do let me know how it resonates for you, or if you'd like to just put your comments down below, you can do that, or send me a private message. If you like a private reading or even a shamanic healing one-to-one, you know where to find me. You can book a session with me or a reading with me on the website. I have a big old sale going on right now, so you may wish to take advantage of this opportunity. It's currently at a limited time. If you'd like to tip me, or if you'd like to just say thanks by offering me some coffee and buy me a coffee, you can do that with the link down below in the comment section or in the description box below. For all information, it's all in the description box. That's all for now. Thank you so much. God bless. Take care. Bye for now. Bye.